everyone, welcome to my channel Ena England. Subscribe so we can stay friends. I just realized I don't have a video in English about this topic, horrible topic called panic attacks. So since I went through them 5 years ago, I just want to say something to everybody who ever suffered from panic attacks or maybe still have that problem, okay? So I know for every person it's different, but there is something that everybody will go through if they have somebody who suffers from panic attacks, or unfortunately you are the one that is going through that horrible experience. First of all, even now, if you are in that phase that you think you will never come again to the point that you feel healthy and good about yourself, please do bear in mind that yes, you can beat them, you can win. And what it takes is that you use your intelligence. So without your intelligence, I don't think you will ever beat them. Like, kind of, they will not just go away by themselves. You kind of need to first know, oh, what this is. Because when they happened to me, I didn't have any previous knowledge about what's going on, you know. The only thing I knew is like from the movies, like even from a comedy, when they would just have this bag and they would breathe in it, and like that was panic attack for them. No, I wish it was like that, but no, it's not like that. It's the most horrible experience you can ever feel, because it just takes all your power. For those who don't know what it is, for example, you can be afraid to leave your house because that's the only place where you feel safe. So which means you've been hurt so much that you don't even trust the air outside. Like, you start to fear of the outside world. So it kind of, all phobias suddenly are present in you. You know, you can be scared of the city outside, the people, but most of all that you will again be in the situation that caused your first attack. So it's so wide, this subject, that I don't even have a way of how to approach to it. Should I start talking about how it manifests, or should I start talking about how you can win? Because first, you don't even know what that is if you are not a professional. You just know it feels horrible. You don't want to you just want to stay in your bed, because the bed is the only safe place for you. And it is sensation of huge uncomfort. So let's say from the point of how I won, okay? Let's go there. So the reason why I won is because I was watching YouTube, because I do watch a lot of YouTube channels, and there was one lady, and she said, for 8 years I'm not leaving my house. And that was the moment that triggered inside me my victory, because I love to travel so much. I love the nature so much, and life itself. And I told myself, 8 years? No way. no way, I'm not going to let this horrible sensation rule my life and me. And I did my best to do the learning part, you know, psychology books, and went through that. And I realized, oh yeah, this is what I have now. I have panic attacks. I didn't go to any doctor because at that moment I was not in the situation to go to any doctor. I know it would help probably, but I just didn't have that luxury in that certain moment of time. So what I did first, I went through all material that I can reach about what panic attacks were. So all psychological books, YouTube videos, and I gave myself a diagnosis. I realized, okay, this is what this is. And then I applied my own methods how to heal. And my own methods were writing, because I was writing all my life, and that is something very familiar to me. So not only that I wrote my own experience, I also wrote how all others who have the same problem can help themselves. You can see in the description box all that material. So that was one of the methods how I won panic attacks, by writing. So writing down all my emotions, how I felt in details. And then the first thing, as I said, was to get to know the problem from the point of view of experts. And then number 3, loving life itself, you know, loving life itself and being stubborn, not wanting that anything rules with my body, with my mind. So this is how I won. The result of all this struggle was always for me something in a shape of book. That's my personal goal, and that's my personal journey. You maybe have some other goals and journeys. So yeah, check that out. One thing I want to tell you is that even it feels so horrible that you think that you will stay like that forever, no, you will not stay like that forever. So let's talk about now the moment when you get your attack, what happens, and how will you know it's a panic attack, okay? So you can be somewhere like in the store, okay? You are in the store and suddenly you feel like for some reason you don't want to be there, you don't feel safe, and you feel like you will pass out. A very uncomfortable feeling inside you happens that you don't want to be there anymore. But your safety place, your bed, your home is far away. And then you realize, oh, I will have to go in the car or use a public transport, or I will have to walk home and I don't have any energy anymore. And then you will just feel like you want to collapse and like you will die. The second that you feel all those negative sensations, your heart beating, your body shaking, very uncomfortable, like, and it comes so fast. The breathing problem is the worst, I think, because that's like the basic thing for everybody to breathe. Altogether, it could take like up to 5 minutes, but the sensation of time, you think like it is for years, not just few minutes. So this is why you need to use your intelligence. This is why you need to use your intelligence. So later on, you need to analyze yourself. You need to analyze your history, to say, like, what caused your sensations, that bad feeling, what was the reason to feel like that. So usually it takes a certain time to get to the stage where you feel panic attacks. And what it means that something very important for you suddenly was in danger, but not just one thing. For example, okay, I'll use my example, but in general it means your values are in danger and not just one. So it could be your marriage is in danger, your work, like a change of work environment, your health. So it's never only one bad cause. And it takes time. For example, for a long period of time, for a year, 2, 3, and longer, you are feeling over again and again and again and again and again, only problems, 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 and never you can get out of that circle of problems. So no matter what you come in your mind, you find in your mind as a solution, never work. So it's kind of a period, an era of darkness. And it just goes worse, you know, one bad news after another. And then your body gets tired, your mind gets tired, and you feel like, oh, there's no point in anything anymore. So it's not depression, it's not anxiety. It's a very, very worse anxiety. And then it becomes the way how you think. It comes the pattern how you think and how you feel. And because you get too tired, usually it means that you want to rest all the time and you want to be somewhere where it's safe. And for me it was bed. So I wanted to, it's not just that you want to be all the time in your bed because it's the same place. It's just that you don't have energy anymore for anything. Yeah, I remember the worst moment was for me when I had to go to the toilet and I didn't even have strength to go through the door, because in my mind going through the door automatically means negative sensation. As soon as I leave my bed, something bad will happen. That's what my mind had a belief like that. Yeah. And I am so grateful for that trigger when I realized, oh, well, this lady, she's like 8 years just in bed, well, doing basically nothing to help herself. She didn't have courage, she didn't have strength, and after all, she didn't have enough intelligence. And for my ego, that was too much. I said to myself, no, wait a minute, I'm more smart than this. I'm not letting some negative sensations ruling my life. No. And that was the trigger. And hopefully you will have that kind of trigger that will move you, you know. Yeah. So I just want to give you this message that I know it's horrible. I know it's really, for those people who are close to you, they will not even understand what's going on with you. Some of them may say that you are just lazy, that you just don't know better than stay in your bed. Like they will say, go out and fight with the world and stop moaning and crying. They will not realize it's a real mental health issue. because not everybody in the world have to know those things, you know, people just don't know. So yeah, also bear in mind that it is only few minutes, the sensation itself lasts only a few minutes. If you need to sit down, just sit down. If you are probably somewhere outside where there are other people, just sit down. Take your time. If your train will leave, oh fine, you know, there's another train always. So take time for yourself and allow yourself to go through that, using your intelligence, by learning what is happening to you, by being gentle to yourself, because sometimes in life things that are happening to you are so huge, you know, divorces, losing jobs, having problems with your health, you know. It's very important to be gentle to yourself then, because you don't want to ruin yourself with your own thoughts, you know, which you are basically doing at that moment when you have panic attacks, because all you can think is, oh, something bad will happen. The worst version of that, it's what will happen. That's your mind that is basically sick at that moment. But as I said, there are ways to cure, and the only way to cure is you yourself using your intelligence. Get to know panic attacks. Give yourself time, enough time. If you are still experience them, you know, let them be, you know, no matter where you are. Understand that people around you will not know what you are going through. Give yourself time. You know, sometimes hospitals can trigger that bad sensation in me. Any similar situation when where I already experienced a panic attack can bring another one. So in my case, I was over with them in 3 months. From the moment I had first one, I spent time learning about them. I wrote a book about them, and it was 5 years ago. So since then, I didn't have any. I can go wherever I want. But what I noticed is that a pattern of thoughts, they return again. So you could again very easily go into pattern of black thinking, which means, oh, like the bad result will happen, you know. So that still can come back, but it's all right, it's okay, because you can win, all right? Thank you for your time and your patience. I wish you all best in your struggle, because it's a phase. Sometimes you have a phase when you are just there having your attacks. Then you have a phase when you struggle, and you have a phase when you win, and a period of good time, and then you again have kind of life is happening, so you can again come into danger to feel them again. But if you do the good study from the very beginning when they first come, then you can help yourself, and only you can help yourself, yeah? So good luck with that. That was the worst thing that happened to me ever. So yeah, don't forget you can win, and yeah, tell me how you won. Or if you're experiencing them now, tell me how it feels, or you know, just because it's not just one stage, it's so complex, you know. But there is a way out, and I want you to get out of that as soon as possible. Okay. Best of luck. Bye bye.